Blessed Amman, grant these soldiers your protection.
It's good to see Gareth safe and
I
sound.
pray you will strengthen their spells and set their blades aflame. I pray you will bless their armor, so no curse may pass it. I pray you see them safe. I pray this in your name.
She looks at you with wet eyes and manages a wink before returning to her work.
Good to see you. Oh, Dallas, you maniac.
That strange longing strikes you again. The books and ink are like sacred artifacts. Your hand is drawn to the parchment. But your serenity is shattered by heat, pouring in all sides. Ash rains down on you, violent and swift.
Excellent. Where the spirit longs to return, I have an anchor. I can speak again. He is bound to the gauntlets you discovered. He dreamed of this place. Through his longing, I can speak. You will meet him soon. Him and others hidden far away. Leave this place. Find the mainland where the Garden of Stone and Death stands. Its master guards the next piece of the set.
Something stings your palm, an invisible claw pressing into your skin. Elemental essence materializes in your hand.
Accept this gift as a promise. Should you gather the entire set, I will reward you 1,000 times over.
The heat and ash dissipate. Were it not for the glowing orb in your hand, there would be no proof of the vision at all. He looks up from his work and grins.
Help you? Make the blades sharp and true. Aye, sir. Get those weapons into shape. We'll need them. Aye, sir. Get those weapons into shape. We'll need them. Aye, sir.
This one might serve, but not for long. This one might serve, but not for long. I can make this work. Maybe.
He looks up from his work and grins.
Help you?
Make the blades sharp and true.
Aye, sir.
So no curse may pass it.
It's peaceful
I
here.
pray you see them safe.
The young man has abandoned the maps and now prepares his armor with happy urgency. He sees you approach.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and
Blessed
sound.
Armada, grant these soldiers your protection.
Here to take us home.
I pray you will
Thank you. Now with...
and set their blades aflame. I pray you will bless
What word do you bring?
so no curse may pass it. I pray you see them safe. I pray they stay
You have spoken to a god?
Gareth stares intently, not so much at you as through you.
Yes. I see something there. But it's not for me to say. I must get you to Malady. She will know. She was imprisoned on the Lady Vengeance, one of the few of us not left to rot on the sand and sun. All the more vital we take the ship from the Magisters. Godwoken. I had no doubt. You bring me hope, sorcerer. I'll gather the other seekers and travel to shore. Meet us there as soon as you can.
Gareth's voice echoes throughout the enclave with such command it could rouse a fawn to action.
We move, Seekers. Now is the time to resist. The Lady Vengeance will be ours!
What's happened here?
An old elf's pained gaze passes between the crucified. Anger bubbles within him. He seems on the brink of tears of rage.
Dear ones, not like this. Not like this. Not like this. They're as good as my family. But I cannot heal them. I cannot heal them. So much pain. But they're still inside. They're true souls, uncorrupted. I feel them still. I see them still. And yes, I know full well what they'll become. And I know full well they'd rather die 1,000 deaths than be used in such ways. Where you find shriekers, you can trust the Divine Order is hiding something they desperately want to keep private. Fate of my dear ones proves there must be some such thing on this very island. Stay away from shriekers if you want to live. I know not how much longer my friends here have.
An undead pirate gulps from a bottle, liquor spilling down his ribs. It settles in a dark, frothy puddle around his hip bones.
You're the one the captain said would be coming, eh? Well now, he took his prize and set off. Went back to the ship to put on the rest of his armour. Don't know the Slaver of the Seas too well, do you? No matter. You don't need to know him for him to gut you. And I aims to tell him you've been snooping around his treasure. Aye. And I'm sick of listening to your natter. I reckon Cap won't mind if I see to you myself. Boys, come have some fun. Fool to shreds, so we do.
shriekers. I'll never get used to them.
Don't let it see you.
What's this?
Way is safe back at the shelter, thank the Divine. She's not up to facing the Magisters again. Not now.
You cannot stand against the shriekers. Not
Battle
without
nears.
stronger weapons.
Good to have you with us.
We'll find them, or we'll find another way.
Doesn't feel quite right, but I need all the equipment I can find.
You would attack the Magisters directly? Are you so eager to die, Seeker? You cannot stand against the Shriekers, not without stronger weapons than these.
We'll find them, or we'll find another way.
You would attack the Magisters directly? Are you so eager to die, Seeker? You cannot stand against the Shriekers, not without stronger weapons than these.
We'll find them, or we'll find another way.
As you approach, Gratiana turns to you. Her moves are lighter now. Her voice is warmer, but still tempered by the scene around her.
It would be a sweet joy to see the Magisters chased from this land. But I fear all I will see today is death. Praise unto the goddess. There may yet be hope for today.
If I were you, I'd stay close to Sir Gareth once the fighting begins. Whatever path he takes will be the surest way to victory.
You've come. Lucian be praised.
Gareth glances over his shoulder, and his voice tightens.
The Shriekers keep watch, and their gaze isn't the only one we should avoid. The murderer is here, Alexander. The butcher's in the ruins, beyond the Shriekers, and he's not alone, as well he wouldn't be. The Order keeps its godwoken leashed. If I didn't know better, I'd think the gods themselves were your counsel.
He reaches for the wand, but pulls back before touching it.
Would that I could aim this wand at Alexander myself, to bleach his soul and sear his skin. No, this thing was birthed from a wicked era. What would Lucian say, seeing me confront one evil with another? Go, take down those Shriekers.
The battle nears.
Here, look down those steps and tell me what you see.
I see flurries in the air, the rungs. Could it be slain? Look at him. He has come true to his word.
Praise be, you have silenced the Shriekers and cleared our way. Yet it seems I'm in need of you again, my friend. You have any more miracles in you? We've got a boat ready to row to the Lady Vengeance. But if Alexander sees us bobbing among the waves, we'll be shark chow. So we split up. I take the Seekers to the Lady Vengeance. You go to the ruins and keep Alexander busy. He'll be expecting a breeze. Show him that you're a hurricane. Are you ready? We've got right on our side. A greater ally than any sulking Geist or any whinging Magister.
He takes the news calmly. A moment passes as he calculates the consequences, assessing this new world as it opens up before him. He nods his thanks, then raises his voice.
Seekers, we move. You are Lucian's eyes and ears. You are his sword and his shield. Burn the blackness with your holy fire!
There you are, the escapee. I feared you'd made it to Reaper's Coast by now. Ah, and Ifan Benmez too. Back in Fort Joy, I wasn't quite sure, but it really is him, the poor god's cursed soul. Bravest man I ever met. Now fallen so low. Anyway, you're here now. You know, Gallus and Friedemann warned me about you, God-woken. I'm afraid your journey ends here. You would only bring ruin to Rivellon. If anyone is going to become the next divine, it will be me. I have no illusions that history will look kindly upon me. My only goal is to guarantee that someone should survive to write such histories. I'm one of you, after all. Your collar is no tighter than my own. I can bear anything for the sake of the realm. Was the most important lesson my father taught me. Be strong, not because you are. Be strong because you must. For them, for the realm, for your loved ones, for the children you'll never have. Please, don't make this harder than it has to be. It's not your fault, but still you stand in the way of peace. This must be the end of your journey. For the salvation of all Rivellon. You stand no chance, but I admire your resilience. Give it your best shot.
hurts, doesn't it?
Now, your foul sorcery will be the death of us all. Only a fool does not fear the void. Now fight!
sent for you.
Quite the mess you've made here. I'm Malady, and you're...
She steps forward, grabs you behind the neck with alarming strength, and pulls you close. She sniffs twice, her nose at your ear, then bites, piercing the lobe with a needle-sharp fang. She releases you and grins, running tongue over teeth.
God-woken. I'm Malady, as I said. I'm here to help you get off this island, and you're what gets some of us out of bed each morning. What do you make of that? Of course not. Not you. You're an independent, right? Well, first things first.
She peers at you closely, a knowing squint in her eye.
Tell me, which of those little gods did you meet? And what did they teach you?
Her eyes go wide.
Go on then. Show me what he taught you. Ah, like that. Right, hold on then.
She takes you by the shoulders and gestures for you to do the same to her. She closes her eyes, and a warm, soothing sensation runs from her hands into your body. Suddenly, you feel the familiar swell of source within you.
Hey, that stings.
She examines her hands, where the skin sizzles slightly beneath their newfound aura. As the spell fades, the skin heals once more. Her whole body seems to relax.
You really are God-woken. I'm... happy. Oh, how unbecoming. Come then, we set sail, your destiny awaits, etc. You'll have to ask the Meister about that. She's dying to meet you.
Malady beckons you to the boat.
After you, darling. Boat first, questions later. As you wish.
out here's a damn sight better than in Fort Joy, eh?
Ifan salutes right back, then grabs you in an unexpected bear hug.
Truth be told, I couldn't have done it without your help. But you know, the contract's not complete until you hand it in. So I'm not putting my feet up just yet. Now that my contract is fulfilled, I say we get the hell off this island. Me too. A god I don't believe in told me things about myself I don't believe. Yeah.
Ifan chuckles and raps his knuckles against the side of your skull, hard enough to knock your head sideways.
Maybe so. Whatever we believe, we still need to live in the here and now. So, let's get back to work.
Ifan tips his fingers to his temples and saunters ahead.
I'd say we should stop to talk, but I'm swamped. Don't make much of it one way or the other, but the farther we get away from the joy, the better. There's got to be a way off this island. Sure thing, Chief. What's up?
She bats her eyelashes coquettishly over black eyes in grey sockets.
Just for you, Chief. One of the gods? Really? Well, look at you go. What did they say? One of the gods said that.
Losa huffs on her fingernails and buffs them on her tunic, smirking.
Nice.
Her face cracks into a mischievous smile. She capers around you, bouncing from one foot to the next, chanting.
You like me, you really, really like me.
She stops suddenly, goes rigid, then relaxes, smiles broadly, and leans over to whisper in your ear.
Psst. I like you too. I'd say we should stop to talk, but I'm swamped. Sure thing, Chief. What's up? You know, wherever the next road leads, I guess. I never was one to sit in one place too long. How about you? You missing home by now? I hear you. I've always kind of felt like home isn't really a place or a time or anything like that. It's just a feeling you get. It's all in the mind. I think as long as I might lose myself at any moment, I'll feel like a bit of a stranger, no matter where I go. That does help. Thanks, Chief.
Let's go.
Malady grabs the vessel with 2 hands and pushes it into the water. She hops on board behind you.
God-woken. Wait till she finds out.
Salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sunlight. The boat bobs forward through the water, and Fort Joy shrinks behind you.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
What were they thinking, standing against an Eternal? I almost pity the poor, ignorant beasts.
I've no sympathy for those who die in the line of duty, especially as odious a duty as those dead Magisters held.
I'll be damned if I ever set foot on that island again. Don't care who I have to bury. Onward now. The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better. Perhaps the Seekers need help manning the ship.
So close to escaping. I remember this one. His name was Kerbin. His friend's sword couldn't save him, it would appear.
Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Pray to you for my Seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation. Pray to you for my Seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation. Hear my prayer. Show us the way forward. Deliver us from peril. Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment. Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead. Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing. Sendelius, pray to you for my seeker.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. At that moment, the ship serendipitously creaks beneath you, almost like it is acknowledging your observation. Searing pain races up your arm. The ship senses you. It's angry. The pain in your arm subsides to a dull tingle. The skin on your hand is already blistering.
Show us the way forward. Deliver us from peril.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive. Apparently didn't hit hard enough.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive. Question him. Someone has been hunting your kind, and Alexander fancies himself the only Godwoken worthy of ascending. As far as we know, you may even be the last still alive. If Alexander is guilty, he'll face justice. Yes, we certainly had better, but the ship won't move.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue. Quite expedient, isn't it? Dallas seems to have made a ship out of an ancestor tree, then found a way to bind the spirit within to her alone. That means only she can control it, unless we can find a way to break the bond.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they? That's the spirit.
It seems you're a born survivor, Sabine. Let's hope we can get this ship moving, so your efforts won't have been in vain.
Void Slayer, Worm Killer, Godwoken. You have many names. Let's add ship's captain to the list once we get this thing moving, shall we? I won't let the fallen be forgotten. I'd be no better than Dallas, no better than Alexander, if I just tossed their remains into the sea. To think that whelp spawned from greatness. He deserves no better fate than his silent monks. All this blood. Children ripped from families. Seekers ripped from me. He's down there now, guarded like some precious jewel, rather than leashed and flogged like the dog he is. Amazing to think those of us in the Order once assumed the gods were with him, and only him. That was before we found the others. Other Godwoken. When Lucian died, we waited, and waited some more. Alexander never rose to divinity. Then we started to find more like him. We weren't the only ones who noticed either. Not every Godwoken we found was alive. And so the Seekers were born. We found Godwoken, housed them, fed them. I loved them like family. I was naive. But let's leave the past in the past and reach for what's ahead. She's not exactly a Seeker. She's not exactly an elf either. Half demon, Meister Siva says, and I don't doubt it. I don't know how Siva came to know her, but Malady's a proper ally. She's not easy to like, but there are times I admire her coldness.
Gareth fingers the hilt of his blade. He stares at nothing in particular before turning his gaze back to you.
Driftwood, of course. Little fishing village. Not very welcoming, but you'll brighten it up, I'm sure. Got family near there. Not the adventuring types. For the best, really. Meister Siva's there too. My leader. Our leader. She held the Seekers together when we had every reason to fall apart. Think of her as a teacher. The powers of the Seven stir in you. She'll reveal them to you. Show you how to manipulate them. Keep Lucian close, Godwoken.
Look who we have here. The boar, no less. I wouldn't have bet tuppence on your survival, yet here you are. It is quite a tale, I assure you. And the upshot of it all is that I've accomplished a goal on this horrid isle that came quite unforeseen. Very well. First, you must know that I'm a prince. The Red Prince. I'll give you a moment to let that sink in. You have no doubt heard the tales of certain setbacks that befell me. Setbacks that forced me to leave the ancient empire. My empire. It was then, forced as I was to wander the wilds, that a voice first began to reach me in my dreams. But the voice spoke from too great a distance, too faintly to be understood. Yet I had to understand. Somehow I knew this to be of vital importance. The point is that, unlike your attention span, I did not give up until I found what I was looking for. I searched this island for a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind that can travel the dream world at will, as if it were another realm just as real as our own. And so I met with Bahara in the sanctuary of Amadia. We raced through dream wastes, beset by nightmares, until we reached the voice. It turns out it was that of Brahmos the Wanderer, the greatest and most elusive dreamer of them all. He desires that I should meet him, somewhere on Reaper's coast. And meet him I shall. That is where my journey takes me next.
Thanks! What did I do to deserve that?
Ah, there's the pure breed now. This is Dallas's ship, but she can't have been the only one who could get it moving. It'd be too risky, and Dallas is anything but careless. There's a way to move this ship on board, I'm sure of it. The figurehead has certainly caused a commotion lately. But then again, so have the doors downstairs. Everywhere you look, a hunk of wood looking to incinerate or stymie you. You'd be surprised. A ship like this holds many secrets. Hopefully you can discover some these seekers might have missed. Naughty lizards. I wouldn't have taken that rune on the figurehead as a slave scar myself. Well done. We'll need to find the song that'll control it then. Well, you'll need to. Dying to hear them, pure breed. Meister Siva is one of a rare breed. She'd do anything in the name of a cause, and her cause happens to be you. She's desperate to meet a living Godwoken. She'll be exceedingly pleased we're en route. We'd better not leave her waiting. She's a bit particular. She's the founder of these Seekers, and she's powerful. That means something when I say it. Your kind can reach astounding heights. Meister Siva can help you do just that. A place called Driftwood, host to putrid fish, putrid dwarves, and Meister Siva herself. You'll probably find it quite comfortable.
Think, damn it! Where would a Magister hide something?
We have to find a way to get this ship moving. We can't let the Magisters catch up with us. We're too weak to fight them again.
Good to feel the rolling of the waves. I might actually get
The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something.
I was just getting used to this seafaring life. You know, we could... From the look in your eye, I gather it's time to grab my things and get back to work. Ready? We'd probably get tired of this view soon enough anyway.
The silent monk leans from one foot to the other. He seems eager to move.
Melody says if we can get the ship to move, we can go home. Home!
This boat's a treasure. Alice wouldn't know what to do with her.
There's got to be some clue. Dallas would have trusted someone with a secret, wouldn't she? Unless there's someone still inside.
Hey! You're here! Pretty nice boat, eh? We got an upgrade. There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallas's room. Maybe you can see something we can't.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice it's unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, as if a gem or amulet had made a mark there. The face vanishes. The door remains closed. It seems you need more than a password to open it.
All willing to fight by your side if the price is right.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? So, we've got quite the task on our hands, haven't we? I have to admit, the whole thing is very intriguing. The old band back together again, I guess that depends, doesn't it? Look at me. Hard. What do you see?
Losa leans back slightly, thin arms crossed in front of her chest, and stares at you defiantly from dark eye sockets, darker and deeper set than when you first met. She blows back a lock of white hair, matted with sweat and grime, and holds back a smile from the corners of her lips.
But I'm not the same, am I? Your god wants me dead. My god? Devil? Who knows? It wants me. It's getting stronger and I need to outpace it. I want to make sure you understand, well, the risks.
Magister Randy conquers me as the divine eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. Can't you say anything else?
You don't get it. I'm dangerous. You have to pay attention. You have to be willing to hurt me if I'm hurting you or someone else. Can you do that? Do I ever? Still sore from that one. At the time, I wanted you to defend me. I didn't realize how bad things had gotten. I know better now. Something like that happens again, you do what needs to be done. Deal?
You keep saying that. It won't save you.
Well, all right then.
She pinches your cheek, a sparkle in her dim grey eyes.
I knew I could count on you to murder me in a pinch. Let's go, Chief.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just don't make me regret it.
keep an eye on the Red until the cage is locked again.
A young magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot. So stow your questions, elf. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. The Magister's stare hardens into an intense scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the Divine. Prisoner or not, I swore an oath. Touch him again, and I'll kill you.
A young magister paces around the...
I warned you not to touch him. Ivan grabs you by the sleeve, not hard, but insistent.
Let me work on him. I've got questions that need answers. Answers I can only get from him.
Ivan approaches Alexander, who lies flat on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, Alexander's eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Ivan grabs him by the jaw and shakes, violently. Alexander's face contorts with agony and his eyes flutter, yet he doesn't return to consciousness.
Why did you trigger the death fog before the elves had a chance to escape? Why? Why?
No matter how loud Ivan shouts his questions, there is no response from the unconscious Alexander. He reaches his arm back, and you realize he intends to punch Alexander in the face. As if waking from a dream, he turns to you, disoriented. Hesitantly, he drops his fist until it hangs loosely by his side. Sheepish now, he scratches the side of his head with his other hand.
You're right there.
With a nod, Ivan strides away. Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope. The gem sits heavily in your pouch.
I've spotted something.
How you doing? You creatures with your legs and arms and your opposable thumbs. You always want to steer the ship. You need to trust the ship. It knows what it's doing. It dances to the tune. It goes la 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 la, or something like that. It's pretty catchy, but I can't remember how it goes. Good thing Dallas had that book, eh? Oh, she opened it and looked at the marks on the inside. How the hell else? All right. Go to the nose bit of the ship, open the book, look at the markings inside it, sing the song. That's it. Get it right and the ship will dance to your tune. Get it wrong and the ship will kill you. That's always entertaining. For me, anyway.
The rolling of the waves. I might actually get a good night's sleep.
I must say, you may not be an eternal, but you are certainly not as temporary as many of your fellows. You handled yourself well. Personally, I am just glad that I do not have to walk back to Reaper's Coast. Wind travel may be primitive, but it is at least efficient. If only. Alas, I do not have time for isolation. If you must know, there is an excavation site at the Black Pits on Reaper's Coast. I go to seek answers. The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people have been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again.
Wish I had a clue what I was looking for.
They simply asked me what I was doing there, and I simply told them to be gone from my lands. I may have used the phrase pathetic mortals. Come to think of it, I may have used it several times. Damn fools. The faster we leave them behind, the happier I shall be. Is that so? Perhaps we could find an arrangement that benefits us both. I need to travel to the Black Pit's oil field, near Reaper's Coast. But my attempts at staying under the cover have not gone well to date. Given how well you handled yourself in Fort Joy, I rather think you could be of use. And I am certainly useful to you. So, how about it? I travel with you and aid you in your various chores and tasks, while you help me to remain incognito. Very well. Let's be off.
The lady's a sturdy old tub. It'll take a lot to sink her.
valuable companions you need, I can provide. hire, all seasoned in combat. They won't let you down.
The door remains unmarked. The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password. Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
You can put a price on the warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll win you. No one's ever regretted having extra help in a fight. I'll guarantee you that. Ally for hire.